Hey there everybody, welcome back to another one of my budgeting videos. This video is going to be my weekly update on my digital cash envelopes. If you are new here, I do cash budgeting, but without the physical cash. Bear with me, let me explain. So these are my cash spending categories. We're going to ignore Striker, he's my cat. His sort of has its own separate rules, but for these 5 categories, when I work on my budget, the money that's going into these categories gets transferred over to a prepaid MasterCard, and then I just tap that card when I'm making any purchases that are coming out of these categories, and that's how I manage the cash. We live in a digital world. A lot of the places that I frequent very much have a preference for digital spending. Some places I frequent refuse to take cash, so I just find it's easier to keep everything digital now. Like I said, except for Striker, he does have some physical cash, but for the rest of them, they're all digital, and the money just gets put onto a prepaid MasterCard. Now, having said that, because they're all going onto the same prepaid MasterCard, it just shows as a lump sum of money on the card available to spend. And I need to be able to divide it out into the categories and track it to make sure that, one, I'm not consistently overspending in one category without realizing it, because then maybe I need to readjust how much money goes into that category, or I need to really look at what am I purchasing, why am I always going over, and also just to make sure that everything balances. Now, the beauty of this card is that I can't overspend and go into a negative balance on it because it is prepaid. So it's not like I could spend all the money that's on there and then put myself into an overdraft. The card doesn't allow for that. But also there will be, say, okay, I drive a hybrid, for instance, so I'm not going to the gas station all that often. So my transportation column right now has $89.43. So if I were to deplete all of the money with my shopping and not be tracking it, that would mean that even though I didn't do any purchases that fall under transportation, I somehow depleted that. And that's not okay, because then what am I going to do the next time I need gas? I'm okay with moving money from one category to another to help cover if one of them does go into a negative, or if I just know that I'm going to overspend a little bit in fun, then I'll use miscellaneous to bump it up a little. I did that when I actually budgeted with physical cash in envelopes. I would sometimes borrow from one envelope to help another one out, and then I would pay it back later. So I don't have a problem with that, but where I have the problem is if I borrow too much and then I deplete a category and I can't pay it back, and then I'm kind of messing myself up, right? So these are my categories. I want to show you the previous page because I have changed it just a smidge, barely anything. So my previous categories, again, always Striker first, but we're not talking about them in this video. Then work, parking, groceries, takeout, miscellaneous, fun, physio, and transportation. I have removed on the new pages work, parking, and takeout. Now, I have done that because I took takeout out of my budget. I love getting takeaway dinners, and I used to budget so that I could have one roughly once a week. I usually did it on a Friday, but I don't have the money for that in my budget right now, and so I had to take it out. There are very, very few instances I end up getting takeout. Usually it involves I've been traveling and I've come home and I have no food, or my birthday. I refuse to make my dinner on my birthday, but I consistently I don't do takeaways anymore. It makes me a little bit sad, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm looking forward to the day I can fit it back into my budget, but for now I don't have it. I kept the column because I kept being live in a place of positivity, have the column so that you know that one day you're going to bring it back. And I do believe that one day I will bring it back, but I also believe that having this empty column is annoying me when I'm filling in all the rest. And then work, parking. I'm currently working from home full time. I have a concussion, and so I'm on what do they call it? An accommodation with my work. So I just work from home right now. So I don't have work parking as an expense. When I transition back into the office, I will. And so this column will come back into play. But really, I took it out, not for the same reasoning as takeout, really, with the, I'm losing hope on it or anything. I just took it out because I wanted to have all the ones that have filled information all bunched together. So this is what it looks like now. So I have Striker, groceries, miscellaneous, fun, physio, and transportation, and I just created more columns because you never know when you might need to add another category. So I just have the columns ready to go. But for now, I'm just going to leave it looking like this. Once I start working back in the office, I'll add in, it won't be on this page, but I'll add in work parking again. And once I have the money in the budget and I decide to add back in the takeout, same thing. I'll just add it on at the end. But these are my main categories. So let's update a little bit. I moved over from the previous page, the January 10th balances from where everything got left off. I do have down here though that I was supposed to take $30 out of the fun category and move it over back to my regular banking account to put it as a payment on my Visa card to go towards some shopping I did at IKEA. And I forgot to move the money. I calculated out of the column, so that's good, but I forgot to do the actual transfer of money. So I put that through today. It says, I think it's like 3 to 5 business days, something like that. So I just have to keep an eye out for it. When it pops into my checking account, I'll then immediately move it over to the Visa, so that won't be a problem. So those balances have been moved over here. Groceries has $69.48. I did go grocery shopping, but if you've been around for a little while, you'll know that I had a gift card given to me for my birthday for $100 on one of those like prepaid MasterCards. Or sorry, not a prepaid MasterCard, it's just a MasterCard gift card for $100. And so I put it exclusively towards the groceries category. Groceries for me is groceries and household. So it's not just food, it's also, you know, like cleaning products, paper towel, shampoo, conditioner, things like that. So I actually remembered to use the gift card when I did my grocery shopping. And that's actually the last grocery haul that I did. So I spent 70, didn't write it down, $71.40 on the gift card, which means I now have a balance on it of $1.24, which is sad, but I will use that $1.24. Don't think I'm just going to let it sit there. So I currently have $69.48 in my grocery category, and that will be for my groceries for this week. I do have another gift card. I know. I am very aware of how lucky I am that I get gifted gift cards to use towards groceries. So I do have another gift card, but I don't plan on putting that one into the mix of my budget until next payday. Miscellaneous has $11.96. I can't remember what I did. What I purchased, random things in the miscellaneous, which is the whole point of the miscellaneous category. I need to mail some items this weekend, so I will be making some purchases for postage that will come out of there. It's one is domestic and one is international, so that might not be enough money to cover for the postage. I'm not sure. I guess I'll find out when I get to the post office. Fun. I had one purchase out of the fun category on the 11th. That was last Saturday. I went to brunch. It shows as 2 line items because they didn't ring through my order properly, so I had to make 2 separate payments for my brunch. So I have a balance right now of $56.25. Normally the fun category doesn't have that much money, but if you watch the last video where I did like an update on my digital cash envelopes, I explained why it was so high. Physio. I had a physio appointment on the 11th, and then I also had one just yesterday. So I have $15.75 left in this category. I go to physio treatments, a variety of different ones, because of injuries related to a car accident that I was in. And only the massage therapy do I have to make any payment up front for. And it's not for the actual massage therapy. It's like an office fee. I think it goes towards sanitizing of the room in between clients. So that one I have once a week, and I have to pay $15.75. It's changed a little bit throughout the year, like it's gone up and down a little bit in price, but right now $15.75. So every payday I fund 2 treatments worth into the physio category because I usually have 1 appointment per week. Transportation, I didn't need to put anything towards my vehicle. I would like to take it for a wash though, so maybe this weekend. So I have $89.43. Striker is not updated right now because I am full of confusion still. I did an Instacart purchase for him on January the 9th because he needed food. I thought he was going to run out before I could get to a store, because I swear when the food container is getting really low, he eats more. I swear he does. So I did a purchase. I bought food and I bought a refill, like an insert scratching thing for one of his toys. But the scratching insert thing is the wrong size. So there was $48.38, and then they had a delivery error. They delivered it to the wrong place, and so then on my like my digital tracking, you know, where like for the card where you can pull up to see like charges and refunds and whatever, it showed $48.31 being taken off the card, and then $31.61, and then plus $14.52, and I don't know, like they were all showing as pending. I hate how Instacart shows up on whatever card it is that I use to make my Instacart purchase. I absolutely hate it because it shows as pending for the absolute longest time. One of these is still showing as pending, and I just don't know what's going on with it. I can never figure out, like, I always feel like I'm getting scammed somehow and that I'm getting charged an incorrect amount, but because they bill it so oddly, I can't figure it out. I mean, I'm sure they're not scamming me, because I'm sure if they were doing that consistently, somebody smarter than me would have figured it out and filed a complaint, but it's just what it feels like because I can't figure it out. So I took the insert back to the store and I got a $16.79 refund. And so that is showing, but is also showing still as pending. So I don't know. And also there was an incident because my Striker's money is not kept on this card. His money, his digital money, is kept in my regular bank account, and I just like deal with it in the budgeting. So it accidentally charged his Instacart purchase to this card. So this card is being debited out money that it shouldn't have been to go towards his purchases. So I really need them to finish pending and whatever it is that they're doing so that I have a solidified final amount that got charged to the prepaid MasterCard, so that I know how much shouldn't have been taken, and then I can pay it back from Striker's digital money. But it's all still sitting in pending, so I haven't been able to pay the card back yet from this money. I think, did I make a plan for that? I think what I was intending to do, but I didn't write myself a note for it because, again, everything was still pending, was like next payday, which is next weekend. Striker gets $32.50 put towards his cash category every payday, and I think I was just going to automatically kind of transfer it over onto this prepaid card to go towards paying it back, because if it doesn't cover all of it, it will at least cover the bulk of it. I think that actually would cover all of it, because if it was $48.31, even if all we do is take away the refund from the item I returned, it's $33.79. So yeah, I think that'll work. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Let's see if I remember that by Friday, though. Who knows? So that is my digital cash envelopes. It's really weird. I've been feeling really out of sorts with them actually this week, and in a little bit of like a panic, and I have to sit down and get them all sorted, but also I didn't want to because I was sure they were going to be in a lot worse shape. And I'm not 100% certain why I thought they were going to be. I think it's because I had some purchases that went onto my Visa card. Again, some of them on purpose and some of them by accident, because I don't know, I went through like a week and a half where everything was going wonky and things were being charged to the wrong cards. And so then I was trying to sort it all out and figure out, okay, well, this charged to Visa and it shouldn't, so I need to pull money from this other area to pay it off because it should have charged to this other card that had the money for it. And, you know, kind of the same way that like Striker's charges went onto this card when they should have come out of my bank account. So everything got kind of all mixed up, and I've been sorting it and leaving myself notes for next payday to make sure that things process through and whatnot. But I think because I've used the Visa and the payments are all kind of weird, and the catch up of the different things are all just sort of weird, honestly, it's leaving me feeling like everything is sort of spiraling a little bit out of control, and I don't care for that. I made a purchase for a pair of pants that I used my credit card for, my Visa card, and they didn't fit. And so I contacted the store, like, you know, like web chat customer service, because I was trying to return them, like to print out a return label, but I was having some trouble. And it turns out I bought a final sale item without realizing I bought a final sale item, and I feel like an idiot. Now, the company is great with their customer service. So she was like, even though they're final sale, you can return them, but only for store credit or like a digital gift card, which I mean is great, because they absolutely 100% did not have to do that. And I have these pants that don't fit, so I have the printing, or not the printing, I have the package, like the return label printed out. I'm going to take it to the post office tomorrow, so that will start. It's like $77 though, and I really could have used that as a refund onto the credit card versus now having a gift card for a store I don't purchase clothing from that often. So I'm actually wondering if there's like websites where I can sell a gift card. I did a really quick Google search and there appears to be, so I'm going to take a little bit of a closer look and see if I can't figure something out with that. We shall see. But yeah, I think my use of the Visa and then the confusion with getting things paid off because charges went to the wrong place is just leaving me feeling very unsettled, and that is translated over to feeling unsettled about the cash envelopes. But I actually feel a lot better now that I've sat down and I went through everything, because clearly they're doing all right. My grocery category is still perfectly fine. Miscellaneous is a little bit low, but that's absolutely fine. Fun has plenty. I'm going to brunch tomorrow, and then I have a team dinner in the coming week, so that'll get depleted, but the whole point of having the money there is to be able to use it. Physio, I do have an appointment this coming week, so that'll get depleted as well. So like everything will get depleted, but it's there to be used. So that's okay. And I haven't gone into the negatives with anything, crossing fingers that stays like that. so yeah, this is my weekly update for my digital cash envelopes. Thank you so very much for joining me with this video. I very much appreciate it. If you are doing cash envelopes or digital cash envelopes or just any form of a budget, I'd love to hear how it's going, how the tracking is. Or, we're halfway through January and I'm already feeling panicky when I don't need to be. So I'm a little nervous for how the rest of the year is going to go, but I think it's just sort of getting used to things. Like it's not like much has changed from last year to this year in terms of my budget or my plan. It's just, I don't know, new year, I suppose. So if you have anything you want to share about your budgeting journey or your tracking, how you do the tracking, especially if you do digital cash envelopes. I find most people on here whose videos I watch use actual cash, and I find it fascinating and I love watching those videos, but I don't often see people doing digital. So if you do digital, I'd love to hear how you do your tracking. I like the book, but I also like the digital spending, so the combination works for me. I hope everybody's budgets are going really well. Stay safe out there. I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.